Connecting my headphones.
Mama says hi. Christina says hi. Mama says hi. He waves. But okay, ma. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bendición. All right. Love you. Two. Every time two. Everything. Blah, blah. All right. Bye. Okay. Something about a reality TV series.
The game is going to be a reality TV series.
Like I'm gonna have to hop on again.
Absolutely.
I shall.
Ugh. Jesus Christ. How you feeling?
Like a
Oh,
new mate. No, all the bandages are coming off, so
that's good at least.
no.
Oh, that's not good.
No, they should have been on until tomorrow.
Oh, so you have to wait longer to get them off?
Yeah, I gotta tomorrow they're gonna take them off, see how they're healing, and then put more back on and then go from there. It was like I was gonna take a shower because they said you can't take a shower for 24 hours after the surgery. And I was gonna take a shower, but the bandages were already coming off because of how hot it's been.
I was gonna
And
say, so you showered.
technically in my own fluid. Yes. I've been trying to keep it water as much as possible. Unfortunately, none of it's alcohol. So
I'm just sharing it everywhere right now.
that reminds me, I need to share it with Raquel.
Dell, he asked me, he's like, what's the topic today? I was like, politics. He's like, ooh, y'all brave today, aren't you?
We're diving
You
in.
know, I was like, you know, man. Ain't nobody scared of these people. They should be scared of us.
Mhm. We ain't scared of shit.
Well, they do have bombs.
Use them. See how fast your politics make anything work. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
man, Jeff Hardy. Oh, say it isn't so. Again,
What happened?
DUI again.
So unfortunate. This man needs to put the bottle down, in my opinion.
It's been 20 plus years. People have been trying to tell him that.
Yeah, you know. Oh, have mercy.
Do you remember how we do the intro?
No, I'm okay. This
I
is
didn't think so.
no, I remember. I remember my part where we bring back where we are here for the rebirth of common sense. Oh, what happened to my footage? Hello?
I can see your mouth. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Rebirth of common sense.
All right.
JP. Some about logical senses. Where And I'm AC, and we're here. The rebirth. Common sense. Because it ain't all that common.
We did that. We did a back and forth though.
Yeah.
I said, "Welcome to the Logical Census podcast." You
Where
say,
we bring back the birth. Here we talk the rebirth of common sense.
"I think it's where we bring you the rebirth."
I don't know what it is, but whatever
It's
we do.
where we bring you the rebirth of common sense, and then I introduce myself. You introduce
Where we
yourself.
birth the re-give of
All right, we'll go a little early, but fuck it, why not? The more time we got, the better.
Mhm.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Logical Census podcast.
Where we bring you the rebirth of common sense.
I am co-host JP Josh Bernetta.
And I am the other co-host, AC Adam Kane. What's good, everybody?
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 4, and we have a very, very interesting topic to talk to you guys about today. And can't be more relevant than a lot of the shit that's going on in this world. We're here to talk to you about politics and government and stuff like that today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we know that this is the rebirth of common sense, but this might be the death of the show. We don't know yet.
It just might. It just might, because I mean, some people have trouble being able to view the truth at either side. Now let's not get it twisted here. Both sides are, just as fucked up and, let's say corrupt as the other. Doesn't matter if you're left or right. That's just the facts all about it. It's just a matter of who do you think is the better liar?
And that is politics, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next week. No, I'm just kidding.
It's just or at least for you. For me, I kind of remember a time when it happened, but for you, when do you think that the moment the people started getting really suspicious and really, anti-government? Like, when did that sort of come to fruition?
I would have to say, I mean, truth be told, like looking back at politics as a whole, I would say, like, we were born in the Bill Clinton era.
Mhm.
And for me, the distrust in politics happened long before that. But like, in our lifetime, I would say, like, for me, it was the Gore Bush run in 98, I believe it was.
Yeah, the beginning of Bush's presidency. Yeah. I mean, I guess I should reword the question more like, because you and I were students of history, we like to look at, things of the past. We like to look why things are, and the vicious cycle of things. And that's what it is, a vicious cycle of things, because every single generation, it seems, somewhere down the line, every single generation had a moment where they called the government out on their bullshit, and there was some retaliation, leaders getting killed and all that other kind of stuff. No
the
different.
French Revolution. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No different really than, revolutions everywhere in every country. I mean, if we're talking politics, we're talking as a whole, world politics and how that, shit show has shaped out throughout the years. Every revolution, or every age, every generation has had their, what you would call their revolution.
Yeah.
So it's like, when does it always seems to be a point in time where the government starts to get a little too greedy, a little too full of themselves. People call them on their bullshit. They bring it back. Everything's calm. And then we're right back to it again.
Yes. So if that's where it's at, then this was way before we were born. The fact, and I think what's happened here in the States, because you got to think about it. You had the French Revolution, you had every other major revolution in the world, and yet here, our form of a revolution was fighting against the British, 1770 something, well, way
76.
longer than that. But like when you look at it in that sense, where we've been fighting that kind of stuff off, we had our own civil war and all this kind of stuff. The fact of the matter is, and I think the reason why, we're creeping closer to what a revolution should be, but we haven't reached that point, is because the government has gotten good at separating us. Because the whole like united we stand, divided we're conquered, or some oh my god.
See, the government's already getting to us. The government's already done with our shit.
I see what you're doing. Thanks, Joe Biden. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Well, Joe Biden, so, look, and that's what we try to say. Like, it's literally the wings of the same bird. Left wing, right wing. It's the same fucking bird.
Yep.
At the end, it's just which side gets their agenda handled. That's really how it is. It's not so much as being beneficial to the people.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of them they make, or a lot of them really, because this is what a politician does. They try to tickle your heartstrings, bring up the topics that really irk at you the most, and they try to put it in a way where it makes it sound good to you, to give them your money, give them your vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes down to getting it done, it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's a bullshit lie. Yeah, see, they're doing it again. Doing it again. But it's like that's when's the Feds watching?
Feds ain't gonna do nothing on this right now.
But
y'all
like,
quit. Fucked up my damn camera. All right, we good. Stop.
Keep fucking with it.
No, I'm just kidding. All right.
You give people motion sickness.
Guys, don't look at my screen. Stay.
Fuck, you made me forget what I was talking about. God damn it.
That's my chest.
But it's like it does seem to be that every single time, we put them in there. And the crazy thing about it is, the people ourselves, I mean, we got to kind of look at ourselves in the mirror as well. Going, this hasn't happened and this isn't, working and this is okay. Well, when we go vote, you vote for the same people who are continually fucking it up just because they are coinciding with your party views.
And yes. And this is the funny thing. So the one thing I love, and I learned this in high school. The one thing I love is we also learned it in college together.
In Yancey's class. Shout out to Mr. Yancey. That's the best history teacher I've ever fucking had, because he told us the truth.
My man.
He told us the real shit that was going on.
Yeah. And the thing is that like we are sitting here constantly getting pissed off at the president. President can wipe his ass the wrong way. And we're like, oh, he used his left hand instead of his right hand. Left-handed people are southpaws. They don't get to go into the sanctity of the Lord, or some crazy convoluted shit like that. Yeah. That's
I'm a lefty. Now I take offense to that.
I'm just saying that is the type of
I do remember that being like, if you were a lefty, that sign of
it's a sign of
the devil, going to heaven or whatever. I ain't going to heaven then. I ain't going to your heaven. I'm going to mine.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure.
There's no
wherever that may legends. Be. It may be really hot there, but hey.
Hawaii, maybe? No. But like the fact of the matter is, it's like anybody that will choose any reason. And this is where I feel it's gotten so bad today politically, because politics isn't just with like politicians in the Senate or in the White House or any of that kind of stuff. Politics has gone beyond that. Like I'll even bring it down to like a very sub level. There was politics when we were playing college ball together that I only touched the ball twice the entire season. And those politics were involved to get 3 guys who were old as fucking comparison to me off to a D1 or any other type of school outside of a JUCO.
They were not at their age. They were not getting D1.
No,
looks.
They'd be lucky to get a D7, and that don't even exist. That's an elementary school.
But I get what you mean. Like instead of just like the politics of war, like it's literally politics and everything. It's that literal saying of, oh, you got to know somebody. I mean, literally, that's literally the case of everything. If you don't know anybody in a certain field or anything, it's hard to really break through to that. If you have somebody who can put in a good word for you, because again, I want to really emphasize people who can put in a good word for you, then it could help work out.
Yes.
But don't think just because you know somebody in that spot that, oh, hey, it's going to be automatic. And it's like, no, you have to, when you know somebody, then literally mean you have to like damn near know this person.
Yeah. And the thing about that, so the funny thing is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. The who you know is the endorsement. That's the endorsement aspect. It's like, oh, I endorse X, Y, and Z.
And then the what you know.
And the what you know follows based off of like, I can vouch for this person because I know this guy. So I believe he's good based off of my expertise. And this is what makes me laugh about like political debates for like the presidency. These are all people who's like, I endorse, like I'll put it in the sense, Kamala Harris. Kamala Olives. That's her name. Kamala Olives. She had the audacity to talk all that shit on Joe to where she was like losing the polls. And then Joe turned around and he's like, you know what? I'm going to have a woman as my vice president, but not any woman. Kamala Olives. Everyone loves those on their pizza. So it's like perfect. I'm sorry. I know it's all jokes,
people. These are jokes.
It's all jokes, but there might be some truth to it because it's Joe Biden.
I mean, look at Joe. As much as Democrats want to be behind him and everything else like that, Joe Biden is one of the notorious fucking flip-floppers in all of Congress. He has run Republican. He has run Democrat. He's run Republican. He's run Democrat again. Until he found a home somehow as the vice president next to, Barack Obama.
Obama.
So, and then kind of used that to elevate himself to the position of presidency. That and the desperation of a morally corrupt buffoon to get that out of, the way before. So now we're and I'm starting to come to a point, at least in politics.
Yeah.
Because I've realized this, because right after Trump, say what you want about Trump, what he exposed, not just in the office and everything, but about people in general.
Pieces
right.
Of shit.
On how, absolutely. There's pieces of shit everywhere you look. But
go ahead.
The feds are really on you for some reason. They're not coming after me at all. Like, I'm probably going to say the worst shit on here.
You know what it is? It's because I got Gerald on my hat. Gerald from Finding Dory. Everybody hated Gerald, but Gerald was the G. Gerald.
But it's like, but Trump, what he did was he kind of exposed everyone's, but he in a way sacrificed himself to expose everybody else's bullshit. Because everybody, and not so much as in I'm going to martyr myself type of, he's an idiot. So he kind of did it to himself. Yeah. He was thinking he was getting the good type of clout. He wasn't. Yeah. So let's just be very real. What I mean,
well, even for like
not at all that.
Yeah. Like, but even with the positive clout he thought he was getting, it easily flipped, and then vice versa. Because the thing is that, and
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. What it did was because everyone started talking the talk of, oh, we need to hold the president to the highest standard of accountability. Well, now, hey, the chips are down on the table. Are you going to hold this man to the highest standard of accountability, like you said, or did you just say that because it was Trump?
And Wyatt is right.
Was it just because it was Trump that you said that, or is it literally you know what, we can't have another one of these guys. We can't, in our history, in our own want to evolve and develop, we cannot have another one of these, because we're just going to fall back 30 plus years and be even more in a hole than what we are. So it's a lesson to kind of, and that's why everyone's kind of like, Biden has his quirks, but then a lot of people are very misguided because the news plays a huge part in all of the hysteria that goes around in the country, because these news stations are bought off. Fox is Republican, CNN is Democrat. So they're going to say one side of the story, and usually to a very extreme point. To where it's no longer civil. That's what I was telling people. Like, when I put on social media, if you're going to come in here and have a conversation with us on this topic, what you say better make sense and have some truth behind it, or some, I don't want to be hearing people talking out of their ass, just defending a side just to defend the side, because that gets everybody nowhere. So feminists. If we gotta fucking be able to talk to but the problem of everything is the government, for real, like you said, they separate us to the point where we're literally picking a side. Well, you're right. No, we're right. No, well, actually, you have a little bit of right, but that's mostly right. Oh, wait, actually, both sides have a little bit of right and a little bit of wrong.
But it doesn't matter because I'm right. Well, that's the logical thing. Compromise. The fact about compromising between something where it's like, why the fuck would we spend 3 to 4 years in elementary school learning what the hell a Venn diagram is, where we can see two different opinions, put them together and find the common ground and realize this is what's going to be most beneficial for everybody. But no, Stacy needs to have her fucking new shoes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't fucking know what it is. But
that's a hell of an analogy. But I mean, essentially, we're always, at least from what I can remember and stuff like that, those Venn diagrams, you always, okay, what's the pros? What's the cons? What are both of these really good at? Okay, these ideas suck, that idea suck, but the good ideas of both sides, we'll use those. And then we'll create something great. It got lost. It is now pick a side, and it's no longer based on a moral compass anymore. It's literally based on, who do you represent, right or left? And it's not even really like short left or right. It's like extreme. Like, if you're left, you're extreme left. If you're right, you're extreme right.
I just realized the White House trying to be hood. Who you repping?
This is the Bloods and Crips of the United States.
Exactly. Who you repping? Donkey Kong? Like, what the hell?
That ain't shit. Elephants are smarter.
Elephant for life, bro. Like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, this country's gonna implode on itself because we can't figure this out.
Can you agree with me that there are actually very simple solutions to a lot of problems?
Yes. There are simple solutions, but nobody wants them.
Because everybody's greedy. Everybody only the people who vote only vote in their self-interest, what benefits them, not what's going to benefit and help us all. It's what's going to help my bottom line. That's the problem. United we stand, divided we fall. That's fucking divided. That's selfish thinking. You do not evolve and get better as a country with selfish thinking. Look at history. It's been proven throughout history. Any greedy government that got too fucking full of themselves and too egotistical, thinking that they could do no wrong because they grew to this existential power that nobody's ever seen before. But guess what? Every fucking empire collapsed. Yep. Usually from the inside.
Yep. Hey, guess what, America? You're next.
We're on that path. Yep. We're on that path of the Roman Empire, literally. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. No, but the United States damn near was the quickest country in its first 100 years to become an industrial power. No other country had accomplished that.
But we're not even.
We're not even. We will be 300 years old in the year 2076. Compared to every other country in the world, that is an infant. We are literally in the stage right now of a toddler who's like, that little shithead toddler that you see at the mall that you want to just kick because the parents aren't paying attention.
Pretty much, if you take any time Donald Trump was making fun of somebody, that's what the United States is now as an infant. Like, that's what we are.
Exactly. And just trying to be the bully and trying to just the kid. We have no idea what we're fucking doing as a country. We don't know what we want just yet. A lot of the really fucked up shit that has happened in this country not that long ago.
Yeah.
If you really look at it in hindsight, it is really not that long ago.
Put it into perspective. Let's put it into perspective, right? I'm 20. I'm not 20. I wish I was 20. I'm 30. Mm. I'm 30 years old. So backtrack. That's the 90s. My parents at that point, see, if my dad was still alive, he would have been around 70-ish, 80-ish now. He passed away in 2014? So that was 8 years ago. And he was 62. So he would have been 70 now.
Through the civil rights movement and all.
Yeah. Oh, he was, so Brown versus Board of Education, right? We talked about this in the past. My dad was alive for that. No. All of that stuff, he was a baby. So it's like my great grandmother is the reason why that was successful. So look up William Hedgepeth versus the Board of Education of Trent, New Jersey. You'll see what I'm talking about. Berlin Williams is my great grandmother. Fight me on it. Anyways,
hey, we got the proof, people. We don't just say like it's there.
Yeah, it's my family. That's my family. That's my bloodline.
Bring that up.
But the thing is that like even with that kind of stuff, so my dad was alive during civil rights movement, you know, where they would hose you down just because you were black. You could not drink out of a certain water fountain because it said whites only, and it had the the California quality water when everything else that was colored had the Flint, Michigan quality of water. So it's like
fucking that lynchings and all that shit.
Lynchings, mind you, in California, the last active lynching in California recorded, what was it, 98? It was 1992 or 1998, one of those 2 years. I can't remember.
In the 90s, let's just say, like, in the 90s.
After we were born was the last lynching in the city of San Jose, where I'm originally from, where we met. In San Jose, the last lynching was done in downtown San Jose in 1998 or something like that. Let me actually double check before I put my foot in my mouth.
But I mean, it just goes to kind of show that how we're so naive, really, to what we've already been through. Like, we want to sit here and try and act like we're a unique generation. We're not. Like, we're not at all unique. We are the same fucking thing as our grandparents were, as our parents were, as our great grandparents were. Same fucking thing, just a different era and a different conversation. We are no different or any more unique than they are. You know, that's just the whole, truth of the matter. If we want to get better, we have to be able to just, again, we can't even conversate or have an actual debate with one another before somebody goes off the rails. Yep. You can't talk politics with anybody nowadays.
Yep.
Because again, it's going to light a fire under somebody. For some reason, politics aggravates people more than the topic of religion. So, and we've already covered that. The whole craziness and everything that comes around with
and
that.
don't think that politics are not involved in religion. We already told you
100%.
Politics was 100% involved. That's why Lucifer is considered one of the names of the devil, because Saint whatever told people that Lucifer was,
ladies and gentlemen, politics is what built the Bible.
Okay. Now it's what built the Bible of what it is today.
Right. Because to clarify,
yes, politics built what the Bible is today. Now, do not get me wrong. There are still a lot of very useful messages that are truth. And to recap, in our religion segment, where I feel the true religion is love, that is the message that should have remained and continued to remain. But that's besides the point, because you got to think about it. The politics involved in religion caused the Crusades. You do not believe in my God, you shall perish under my sword. Like, hello? And
there's people completely contradicting what fucking Christ had talked about.
Love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor, except if he's not a Christian, then take him by the throat. Like, no.
That's what I never understood. I was just kind of like, and especially when it came down to politics, where we have the amendment, freedom of, of religion, and essentially to do whatever the fuck it is we want. But when we're talking about religion here, freedom of religion, meaning any fucking religion. There's no set religion, but kind of hidden. There kind of is. The Christians and the evangelicals kind of took over, the government world. Before any of really the minority religions could kind of even start to get a foothold into it. They already took that shit over a long time ago.
Yeah, and they
Freemasons and stuff have been a part of since Washington. So
yeah, and they used the politics that they understood in order to integrate those, and the ones that disagreed still were annihilated.
It was still a monarchy.
Yeah,
honestly, there's still a hierarchy in everything that goes on. Because we want to sit here and act like there's equal powers. There really isn't. Congress has a lot of the power.
Yes. Because let's break it down with checks and balances lessons, ladies and gentlemen, because none of y'all passed that in high school or college. We can see it because you don't understand what the fuck's going on.
We're on Twitter. We know. I've seen it. I've seen the garbage that you guys have been spewing. It's like, y'all didn't read a book, did you?
No, apparently not. The thing about it is that you have the judiciary branch, the legislative branch, and I don't remember the other branch. Executive branch. Thank you. In the executive branch, that's where you get the presidency. All right. Pretty much what the biggest thing he does in regards to those three is signs off on a law. The legislative branch, which is Congress, which is over let's find out how many total people are in Congress.
Oh, fucking 500 plus.
Let's find out. There is 535 members of Congress, 100 of which are of the U.S. Senate, which there are 2 per state, and 435 of which serve in the House of Representatives. And based on the size of your state determines on how many representatives you have. So you mean to tell me we're putting all this blame on one man and his administration, which is probably about 13 people? Truthfully, because after that, it gets convoluted with everybody else. So we're putting the blame on one man who should be locked up in a not a mental institution, in a retirement home.
I'm going to get to age in a minute, but
we'll get there. We'll get there. But we're putting the blame on him for if he says no to a bill that is passed in both Congress, in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, and he says, you know what? No. By the people, this is a bad idea. They can both look at each other. Did this motherfucker say no? Yo, he ain't got no shit. He ain't got no shit. We gonna veto this. They can outvote him. 2/3 advantage. If they all say like, no, we wanted this, and he says no, they can say, nope, we're going to veto we're vetoing your veto. And we're still going to make this a law. So this is the problem with that aspect. But, in order to save face, usually if a bill actually passes in both sides, the president doesn't want to look like an asshole, so he'll pass it anyways, or he'll send it back for some to rehash or renegotiate some of the terms.
Ladies and gentlemen, in layman's terms, this is this is what's supposed to be the government. Okay, that 535, whatever people in Congress are supposed to represent their constituents.
Us.
So in those regions, they're getting the talk of every town meeting, every fucking county meeting, whatever it is that's going on. They're getting all of this information, and all that information is supposed to just be filtering all the way up to the top, to the point where the people in the Senate start to go, okay, this is what, as a whole, through the entirety of the country, this is what's being talked about. Okay. Mm-hmm. They want this, they want this, they want this. All right, we're going to pass those. Everybody good? Yep, we're good with that. Cool. Send it up to the big guy. Gets to the president. President looks at it. So this is what the people want. This is what the people voted on. Yep. This is what the people wanted. This is what everyone was saying that they needed. All of this for the people. Yep. All right. The people wanted it. As it shall be. Signs off on the shit. Sends that off to the judges. Make sure that it's constitutional. And even then, the people, it's a living, breathing document, people. It can change. That's the whole point of it. There are amendments to the Constitution. It can be changed.
Yes.
It is a living, breathing document that changes with the times. It's designed that way. So that was one of the kind of the genius things that our forefathers kind of brought to the table with this document. The fact that with the times, it changes to benefit the people.
Yep.
And yet we have gotten to a point where, and maybe it's just a power hungry thing, a human nature thing of just wanting and just craving power and attention. That literally congressmen are willing to take money and bribes from really shady people to do really shady things, all for the ability to say that they have nice things.
I have nice things for my constituents. Okay, so
stop being about the people.
Yeah, it's not about the people. It's about how deep their pockets go. So the people of many all of a sudden turns into the people of whoever can afford us. And those usually break down to corporations that are being coddled in a society that was built around the corporation. You got fossil fuels. Why the hell are we still fighting over that? Electric vehicles are available. Again, why is everything so expensive? Gas prices you do not need to create billionaires during a pandemic where gas prices are skyrocketing out of control when the true cost per barrel is nowhere near the amount. You got to think about it. When the pandemic hit, we ended up getting a surplus of gas to the point where it got all kinds of crazy. Where it's we're shutting down production sites because we have so much fuel. If we had so much fuel, why did the price still hover in California around $3? I mean,
nobody was really driving at the time, but that's pretty fucking expensive.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, look at it this way. There's a couple of gas stations out here, especially in LA, that I know that ran specials that they cleaned out their gas because when the gas station was founded, it's not Chevron, it's not 76, it's none of those brand names. It was a local gas station that still functions and runs today. It chose to bring its prices to the original price when they first opened their doors, which was 60 something cents per gallon.
Right.
And the
I mean, another thing, even just with gas prices, I even noticed this going, okay, this is a problem. I see this as a very major issue. The fact that when the pandemic hit, all the small businesses, got to go out. You're basically going out of business.
Yeah.
Stayed alive. The big ones. Walmart did. Target did. All the small businesses had to shut down, but the big businesses, they got the regulations.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, this goes into the whole politics of that aspect. When the bailout money that was supposed to be distributed to the small businesses to keep them open because, they don't have corporate money that their businesses, like, for example, Apple, Google, other larger corporations such as that should have not been getting a single cent from any of those loans because of the fact they were still earning money during the pandemic. They were prepping for the iPhone 12, and then now they have the iPhone 13. They're already looking at the iPhone 14. Samsung was doing fine. Fucking Whole Foods, Amazon
was booming.
Yeah,
Amazon boomed.
Amazon took off, like skyrocketed, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it is a phenomenal platform, but by using those things, they were still making their money at the end of the day. I mean, think of it this way. And this is putting superpowers against one another, like Elon Musk versus Jeff Bezos. They're both pieces of shit, in my opinion, in their own right. So Elon Musk, I feel, genuinely has a care for like human survivability, but he has it in the sense of like Thanos. So think of it this way. Think of it this way. He has,
in order for the human race to survive, half of us need to die.
Yeah. Because I'll put it this way. He's been figuring out a way for us to survive in space. Like,
he's an alien. He's getting all of his technology for, like, we talked about this. His people live on the dark side of the moon. He was sent here from there. Yeah, that's why the spaceships keep going, like they keep coming in and out. Yeah. Oh, you just, kind of out of the blue developed the technology for a ship to fucking land itself again after coming back from re-entry. Yeah, and he got that sort of version from his boys up over there.
And that version of the space program was shut down because they couldn't figure that shit out since the Challenger launched back in. Don't get me started. But the fact of the matter is like
There's a reason why the dark side of the moon has never been explored.
There's
something there.
Yeah, like, so he
back to politics.
The thing is like with him, he oh shit, the aliens are now fucking with my shit. He's looking at it for the betterment of people, but at the same time, he doesn't give a shit about the people that aren't willing to go for it. So internet trolls are the ones who the most they're gonna go for is for clout. But he's finding ways. God,
at least you can still hear you. At least we can still hear you.
But the fact of the matter is like he's finding ways to
everybody. What's up, everybody? Just saying hi to everybody in the chat.
No, that's all good. But yeah, so he's finding ways for us to go out into space for survivability reasons. Like, apparently they're trying to build a hotel that floats in space and stuff like that. Obviously, this is an Elysium type of thing where only the mega elite rich are going to be able to go up there and stare at the Earth and realize, oh wow, it's not flat. But
Vamonos Zomboid, Angel. Hold on, what? Zomboid.
Oh, it's so.
If you're saying I'm fucking high because I'm smoking.
Yeah, I know. So, side note, Zomboid is a game that we've been playing. It's a survival game.
That's your boy.
Yeah, that's my boy. So that's Angel. Project Zomboid is a video game that we've been playing for the past few days, and we've been finding a lot of good stuff. It's a great game. If you guys want to play it and hang out with us during that, this isn't an official. Yeah, it's no free ads. Give the money to us. But I'm just saying, if you want to just play games with us, we like playing video games every once in a while. But getting back to what we're talking about, Angel, sack of shit.
Elon used his, genius and everything. Like, he's in government now. He's got contracts with NASA.
Yeah.
Like, he's involved with government contracts and everything like that now.
And it's not even just the United States government. He's also involved with Ukraine. He's bringing up the Terminator Skynet.
But I look at it like this. It's like, how have we not gotten to a point where the government must have really fucked up education, at least when we were coming up, my God.
Yeah.
The education system, they passed anyone and everyone who had a pulse. Not so much as the mental capability, just whoever had a pulse. And I think that was one of the problems. But that
can you fly? Can you be thrown at hundreds of thousands of miles through the air? Yeah, cool.
We'll use the dumb ones for military purposes.
Yeah,
as a grunts. It was just like they were just filtering out people. It doesn't matter what you knew or whatever. It's just you kind of and I'm sorry, there are dumb people. I'm not going to sit here and cater to their feelings because they're dumb. No, like that. It's partially why we are where we are. We're voting in dumb people. We're putting in people who are they're just dumb. I want to say it that way because I can say it much worse.
Yes. And here's so I'll put it into a comparison politically, right? Zelensky, president of Ukraine. Zelensky was a contestant on Ukraine Got Talent and became famous for playing piano with his dick. He was like in a group and he was slapping his dick on a piano playing music, and that's where he got started. He's an actor. Like he's a performer.
I knew he was a quote unquote comedian.
Yeah, he's a performer. But here's the difference between having a reality TV star performer and somebody who actually gives a fuck about their people. Not the people paying him, but their people. Is that Zelensky, as a man who was known before being put on the map because of this war, like everyone didn't know who the fuck Zelensky was. Nobody gave a shit. It wasn't until Russia started putting their foot in places and, oh my God, it's in Europe. Oh no. Look, y'all never gave a fuck about the people in the Middle East.
Most people were mad about the situation because they couldn't fucking travel there. All right. That's the only reason why they were mad. They didn't have no fucks given about any innocent people dying because of bombings and shellings and shit like that. It was, oh man, we can't vacation. Shame on you people.
Yeah,
fucking and the shame thing is, on you people.
The thing is, as well, like when we started on the racial politics in Ukraine, but the difference, the biggest.
That's one of the things that that's another thing that divided us here in this country.
Yeah, and
because of their racial politics.
Yeah, and one of the bigger things is that, it's fucked up. But how everything is in regards of a person who doesn't care about, I don't give a shit about what you view politically. I don't give a fuck about who you think is in the right. Right now, my people are dying. And it's like Zelensky as a president didn't separate them out. The people separated them out. Zelensky didn't go around telling local authorities who are filtering people through the border to get into Poland, like, oh, keep the black people behind, they'll serve as a shield for the white Ukrainians. Like, no, that's not what he was doing. At least I hope that's not what he's doing.
If it was what he was doing, again, shame. It puts us in this. It puts us in a dilemma that the moral compass of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want them to get in. They should have their own rights to be able to be who they want. All that type of stuff. But then you go into but if it were them in an African country was getting invaded, would they give a shit?
Nope.
So it's kind of like, they ask for help when it's them, but if it's somebody else, would they do the same? It puts you in that dilemma because we want to be that beacon of hope of, hey, they should have that. And that's the right way of thinking. They should have their own right to live how they live and everything else like that. Not necessarily saying how they live is correct in certain ways of thinking.
Yes.
But the idea of them being their own, again, we're over here. We don't have to agree with that. We don't got to fuck with them at all outside of that.
Yeah.
But hey, they're allowed to be their own shit. They're over there. We don't have to go visit them. They're assholes. They don't have to sit at the fucking dinner table. But we're not with this commie shit trying to fucking expand.
Well, and that's the funny thing about it too. So to put into the perspective that you're talking about, the freedom aspect is what a lot of people are concerned about, because Russia was voted out of Ukraine in the early 90s. And that's the thing. Russia turned around and it's like, I guarantee you the Ukrainian people are not going to vote to leave because Russia is such an amazing country. No, Ukraine turned around and was like, fuck you. We want out.
You think this is an amazing have you the
It was
people
like-
in Russia have been starving forever.
Yes. That's because
Forever.
nothing grows up there except for nuclear waste. But like Ukraine
Chernobyl
turned
really fucked
around
them up.
at a height. So you know how here in the States, we have this issue where it's like, oh, we have to do a recount because it was too close to tell. Like for a lot of the voting stuff. That's how divided we are. Ukraine came out in like the high 90 percentile, 90% or more of the people said, no, we want out. Fuck Russia. 90%, bro. And it's like,
side note, we were talking about recounts, and our country was divided on recounts and shit since before the actual voting began. But nonetheless, with Ukraine, yeah, again, they voted to be able to have their own freedom as their own country and everything.
And it was almost unanimous.
And they fought for that valiantly as well. Especially now, you know, they had their skirmish and everything with the Russians back in 2016, and then times before that. But with this one, like, oh yeah, Russia, they had been real good propaganda with, oh, our army is, you know, this big old, you know, monster of an army. This is okay. You have the numbers, but you don't have the smarts.
Angel, we all Niner fans here. Get out.
Well, since he's a Niner fan. But it's just kind of like looking at it going, you know, they voted that it is that idea of freedom, but then we look at it here and we have people who are against people having freedoms. Like, you talk about being free and be able to do what you want to do, as long as it's within my own ideology.
As long as it's my freedom, because I don't give a shit about your freedom. It's my freedom I'm concerned about.
We got absolutely so selfish as a community. Like, the village is dead right now. Like, honestly, you know, the whole entire thought, because I remember growing up, like, aunts and uncles, hey, if we were fucking up my aunts and uncles or anybody else like that, if my parents weren't around, they were the parent. You know, hey, what the hell are you doing? Oh, doing that. I'm sorry. Do you do that at your house? No. What the fuck makes you think you're going to be able to do that here?
Yeah.
Like, hold on. No. It's like, you're not going to get away with shit just because you're not around your parents. And that you develop the whole, you know, respect for your elders. And granted, respect for your elders, that is also, you know, respect is earned and given, people. You know, whether you're older, whether you're younger, you know, doesn't matter. That shit's earned.
Is true. The
thing is, because I tell you right now, you can lose the respect of some of your elders real fucking quick with certain actions. You know?
Yes. Yes.
You know, so let's get that very clear. That as much as respect should be earned and given, it can also be taken away, for sure. You know, but we have gotten into that point of being a society where, and again, we're voting against our own self-interest. We have people in Congress that really, they don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about us. The Democrats started doing the same thing that Trump did. They just started fucking wording it differently. That's all they did. They switched. It's just like, hold on, you're going by the same playbook. What you mean?
Yeah, the funny thing is that they are constantly doing the same thing back and forth. The only difference is that one is using white as the pastel color and the other one's using a slight off hue pink as the pastel color. And it's like, when you think about it, they're doing the same exact thing. At the end of the day, they're trying to keep us separate, because if literally, and here's the politics on guns.
Let's talk about it.
The politics on guns right now. I'm gonna be true. I own 6. I own 6 guns. I own paintball guns, itty bitty guns, super biggie guns. Like, sorry, not to quote what's her name, Megan Thee Stallion or whatever. Big boys, itty bitty. Anyways, I own guns, right?
Right.
I know that these guns are used in the event that someone wants to force their will upon my safety and my home. And these are to be used as self-defense to protect me and my family and friends and those around me that I know would be in harm's way in the event that somebody is trying to harm. That includes my neighbors. That includes my enemies. That includes the government. The point of the Second Amendment, which truth be told, yes, back when this when it
was written, fucking muskets.
Yeah, with muskets that took 20 minutes to load.
Fucking 3 hours to fucking. Goddamn, where'd the gunpowder go? Where'd it go? Oh shit! It 3 hours to load. If you had no gunpowder, you were fucked.
Now, to bring it into modern day, and this is going to go into the fact of how many shootings have been in like just the past month alone. Oh, see, they're coming for me again.
They're coming.
There goes the NRA. How's the NRA after me? Shit. The fact of the matter is this: I've owned these guns, and yes, I have tiny pistols. I have small caliber rifles, like 22. The bullets are like this big, and then I don't know if I'm allowed to show. Can I show bullets on here?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'll show a box. I have big boy rounds. Okay, I have big boy rounds. So the fact of the matter is, with big boy rounds, those can do damage, and I know they can do damage, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna go to any location and start shooting it up because my ass was hurting because I sat the wrong way before I went to sleep last night. And here's something that I want people to logically start looking at. Again, this is logical senses, the rebirth of common sense. Let's go back to the Texas shooting. This kid just turned 18.
I just want to make that one clear. And real quick, when we're talking about the Uvalde shooting, that one struck a chord with me the most because Uvalde is so close to Del Rio, where I am from. So, and I know my mom knows people in Uvalde, and I know my dad knows people in Uvalde. Like, I know the connections and the family and friends and everything. I know that I know people who know people in Uvalde.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
and I went off on, and I just want to make this very clear. I went off on a little bit of a tirade, but you get to your point and I'll go off that real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah. So with that shooting, everyone is still going after the guns. And do not get me wrong, I am 100% in support of putting regulations on the purchase and movements of weapons, because I'll put it into the sense that my brother had an AR-15. I mean, he was ex-military. He built the majority of the guns he owned or owns now, but he was able to travel legally throughout the entirety of this country with these weapons. Like, I know in California, it's illegal to have like any magazine bigger than 10 rounds, but even with that, was still able to travel legally through the airports, through everything. The fact of the matter is that there are rules set in place for people who are law abiding to actually be able to utilize these things. So like using weapons safely, smartly, the way that I think it's Sweden has more strict rules than any other country in regards of being able to own and operate weapons like that. And they don't have mass shootings like we do here on a regular basis.
Well, they
all have more weapons per capita than we do.
But I don't. This is what I'm thinking, because it coincides with a certain belief. Because when the Uvalde shooting happened, again, it struck a chord because it was so close. I was like, ain't fucking sick of it. In my lifetime, as many mass shootings that have happened, record-setting mass shootings that have happened throughout my lifetime, yeah, right, at schools, especially and everything, places that are supposed to be safe places and safe havens and stuff like that. I got to a point where I was just like, you know what, bro, if you own a gun, like, you just it's bitch made, because it's at a point now of like, you don't know how to use these. You're too much of a fucking pussy to be able to defend yourself one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, you have to use a fucking weapon from a distance to be able to have any sort of power or effect on me. You are bitch made, as far as I'm concerned. And a couple of my friends, I own gun, and like same law-abiding citizens, and only use it for the defense. Defense, exactly.
Yes, keyword defense.
And I mean, I feel bad for saying it now, but in the moment, I was just kind of like, I was like, but those people who are trying to come into your safe spaces, those are fucking bitch. I was like, we shouldn't even be in a situation right now where everybody's fucking afraid to go to the mall, to go to school, and worry about their kid or worrying about, a loved one getting shot up for no fucking reason. And the whole thing is, and I don't even think it has to do with, it doesn't have really anything to do with the guns themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's the fact that some of the laws in certain states and stuff like that are so, as conservative as these states are, so liberal that literally anybody, fucked up or not, can get them.
Yes.
And we're talking, and we know that there are people, and the fact that a lot of these fucking psychopaths that are out there are posting videos
talking
of what they're gonna do, talking about it, doing all this shit beforehand.
Zuckerberg.
I was like, we're over here talking about, oh yeah, the government's watching us. They obviously aren't watching these fucking guys. If they're watching all of us, they're missing a few of us. If they're watching all of us, then it's selective who is being let go.
True. But this goes back to the point I was trying to make. So I do believe that regulations need to be placed because they work. They 100% work, and they work in other countries that own more guns per person than we do. And we got Texas. And those fuckers are crazy. But the fact of the matter is, is that here's another concept people are not looking at. This kid just turned 18. With the amount of body armor he just purchased, the amount of weapons he just purchased, the amount of ammo he just purchased. I watched this video today about it on YouTube where it was a military personnel. And if anybody knows anything about weapons, it is military personnel, because they know how to use a weapon, even in a crisis situation, to where they will not discharge it until the absolute final moment. Police officers. Sorry, I'm going after everybody today.
But we have to because this shit covers everybody.
Yes. And the thing is that first off, they broke down price-wise how much all of it is. 2 of the guns he had already $4,000. The other gun that he had about $500-600. All of the ammunition racked the full total price with taxes and everything over $9,000. As a person who just turned 18, where in the hell did he get $9,000 to purchase these weapons as soon as he turned 18? So my question is who else is in on this shit?
I mean, some of it could be, especially weapons wise, depending on who you are. There are families and stuff, they pass guns down, a dad or an uncle or something like that. Oh, he turned 18, here's his first gun type.
Well, that's the thing. These are newer weapons though.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, this kid could have inherited,
I agree, because
through birthday money or some shit, graduation money or whatever. He got a shitload of money from a relative that had it to be able to give it to him.
But you mean to tell me that, and I know parents don't know where their kids are at all times. Y'all are a little extra special nowadays, but
my fucking mom knew where I was at all times.
Exactly. But you mean to tell me, because this kid did not go to a gun store and then straight to the school. This was planned, meaning this motherfucker had to buy the guns, bring them home.
It was
set his shit up,
they trying to take
and then
guns.
go. Yeah. Well, to be honest,
nobody's trying to. If you have guns and you're a law-abiding citizen, you have nothing to worry about. That's what I'm saying. That's where I feel like some of the paranoia is coming from. The law-abiding citizens think that their guns are getting taken away.
And that's the thing.
We're making it harder for psychopaths to be able to purchase these weapons.
It is similar to getting your driver's license, ladies and gentlemen. If you cannot pass a basic test, left signal, right signal, forward, backwards, honk the horn, windshield wipers, high beams, not these people on the car. If you can't do the simple things, even bumping the curb will fail you on one of these tests. So if you mean to tell me that we have that much restriction for putting somebody behind a machinery that can cause mass damage to multiple, if not a lot of people, why can't we do the same about weapons?
We have the DMV. We should have what's it called? The Department of Firearms or some shit like that. DFA.
But yeah, we have
but the NRA is not.
The NRA
they'll give a gun to an infant if they could.
It's like, go ahead, hold this. This is gonna be great for our ad campaign. But no,
and then the rallies and shit that happen afterwards, bro. That's just, bro. Like, use your fucking head. Use your fucking head.
Yeah.
Read the room, time and place, bro.
I want to be,
and you would think at a place like Texas it wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
but
and that's another thing. You have trained men and women who literally almost every day, like even when we were going to school, they were putting in gun drills, like code red drills, constantly. And you mean to tell me, and there was police officers who would cruise the whole school to make sure people were doing it properly. You mean to tell me these police officers out there who were in campus already getting their kids out, they were on the campus grounds. Not a single one of them thought, we need to find this guy and stop him. So you want to tell me, logically thinking, I'm going to sweep the school for my kid and then go back outside and wait for orders? If that was if that was the military, okay, just knowledge wise, if that was the military, you already been court-martialed for insubordination for already being there without the orders present. So, and not only that, you arrested the parents that were trying to get their kids, willing to get through anything, even you with weapons, knowing that you would kill their ass, because some police, not all police, some police do not have the self-control to keep their trigger finger off the trigger.
You would rather prevent a parent from saving their child than killing the person, or taking. Honestly, with these mass shooters, I'm surprised a lot of them get taken alive. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they don't kill themselves, they get taken alive. And good thing. Let's just say it's a good thing I wasn't a cop. Because if I'd have seen a mass shooter and he had his rifle in his hand, I ain't fucking telling him to get. I'm fucking putting 10 in his ass. I don't even care.
I'll put 2.
I just putting him the fuck down, because it's not. No, this type of mentality that these people would literally just walk into a public space and just random people just walk it, because they got offended or mad at somebody on the internet,
or for even less shit.
Or right. Oh, my mom didn't hug me enough. Or some other shit that would happen just to. I just wanted to see, want the fame and attention because I'm not getting it from women. Women aren't paying attention to me.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go and do
that shit's bullshit.
These types of people, bro. These 5150 ass motherfuckers. like, look, I've worked as an EMT.
Yeah.
Okay. I have seen 5150 patients, how certain ones act. Some of them are a little more normal seeming than others, but it's the ones that seem a little bit more normal that I come to realize are the most dangerous ones. The ones that are the most like vocal and they're kind of really open about their crazy. Obviously I wouldn't want that person to have a fucking gun. Nope. But in some of these states, they could. Mm-hmm. That person who said the birds are telling me to jump. You want that guy holding an AR-15? Really? No. But then you get to the ones that are quiet. The ones that are very
they're methodical. They think through.
Those are the ones I'm like, I hate to say it, but we might need to keep this person within these walls forever, because they're, and again, I can't for HIPAA violations and everything else like that, I can't obviously say names. I was like, but I can go through situations and stuff. But through everything that I've seen through these patients, the ones that are, and especially like kids, and it's even scarier when it's kids who think that methodically and are that malicious and are that like, well, finding out, certain kids, what are you in here for? They didn't try to hurt themselves. They're talking about hurting others.
Yep.
They love themselves. They think very highly of themselves. It's others who don't understand. It's others who they don't get it. They don't love me because they don't understand me. Well, maybe
they
you're
don't
a little
love
fucking
me,
narcissistic.
And I'm trying to ease their pain of not understanding.
That's
the deep rooted narcissistic aspect of that whole thing. And it goes into a far deeper thing. And I think that would be like a segment on
mental health checks for guns. Absolutely. I don't understand why some of these gun nuts don't understand or don't think that's a good idea.
And that's the mind-boggling thing.
The way I think about it, if you are so against getting a mental health check to get your guns,
you're probably one of the
a red flag saying that you don't want them to find out that you're a little mentally fucked up.
Yeah. So, okay. And that's the bigger thing, because I'll put it this way. As somebody who is going to get my open carry for security, you have to go through a psych evaluation before you touch a gun. Before you even think about touching a gun, you have to go through a psych evaluation. And yes, they grill you, and they grill you hard to ensure you are psychologically capable of handling a weapon without discharging it because you're distressed. So you have to go through the training first. As soon as you go through the psychological test, you pass it, you have to go through training. You still don't touch a gun. You go through the training of understanding weapons. You have somebody show you the weapons. Then you touch the weapon, no ammo, no live ammo. You guys get what I think they're called fucking.
Appreciate you, Windsor. I try to speak facts, my bro. I tried to, bro.
Like the thing is like it's these little they're fake bullets that shoot out a laser when you click. Like once you pull the trigger, it pops a button, shoots a laser out. It's to get into the aspect of dry fire. You don't actually shoot bullets yet. You should learn how the gun is handled. Oh, see the NRA going after it again.
Don't tell them how to use it. It's just point and shoot. That's all it is.
The thing is that you go through the motions and you learn it. It's like any major thing that you need to have a major skill for. You play these video games, and I know bringing up video games and weapons is stupid, but you play these video games. Why the hell, when you start the game and you shoot the gun, it's going off 6 feet to the left of where your target is? Because you don't have the skill necessary. You don't have the knowledge necessary to be able to shoot it straight at the beginning of that game. So bringing it back to real life, you have to learn how to understand the weapon, stuff like that. You have to, before, and as a security guard, before you even think about laying your hands on that weapon to get that permit to say, yes, I can operate a weapon, you have to learn these fundamentals. Then you are allowed out on the range, and you have to pass above a certain level of accuracy and speed in order to be able to be like, yes, you are certified to hold a weapon. If you do not have the accuracy, you are not allowed to hold that weapon, because that is an innocent bystander that's going to be hit. That is somebody that is going to lose their life because you don't know where the fuck you were shooting. So there is a lot of rules and regulations that are placed on individuals who like operate weaponry.
And we're just talking California laws.
Yeah.
I mean, California is very strict on their gun laws. In comparison,
they're fairly strict. Yeah. Because my thing is, and I've messed with like an AR before, or like a SIG RAR like 77 or something like that, and messing around with those 10 round clips where you have to have a pin in order to eject the damn thing. In regards of home defense, that's the stupidest idea. Because if you have a bunch of people storming your house and it's like, I got 10 bullets in this clip, What am I going to use it next for? A damn bat? No. Like, that's
why they have recommendations for home. That, I mean, you don't need an AR-15 for home defense unless literally we are getting it. I mean, the only way I think about having an AR-15 is you have an AR-15 with fully loaded shit. That motherfucker is locked up, fingerprint, DNA, retina scan, all that type of security to fucking get into it. Yeah. And it can only be activated and accessed if we are getting invaded by a foreign country, or if our own country decides it wants to go all fucking Hitler. Okay, yeah. That's the only ways we get those high-powered weapons to be able to do anything. Mm-hmm. Fine, I'm cool with that. That's good. Home defense, good. Usually is a good fucking deterrent.
Yeah, there's a buddy of mine who had a story.
Sound. Oh fuck. That's good enough.
Well, yeah, because a buddy of mine had a story. He told me he used to live in Richmond, and he said his mom had this guy named Oscar, or like let me backtrack. So she had an issue with like crackheads always coming onto her yard, and it was just him and his mom who lived in the house, and I think his brother. Yeah, so it's like they had issues with crackheads always coming up to the house trying to like see what they got, stuff like that, because all they want is crack. They want to steal shit so they can get money for crack.
Crack, man.
Anytime,
crack sandwich.
Anytime they came up on the yard, she would say, "Get off my yard." And it's like, "You ain't gonna do shit." And it's like, "Oh, trust me, I will." And it's like, "You're just a woman. You're not gonna do nothing." It's like, "All right." It's like, "Baby, go get Oscar." And it's like, bring him out here. I don't care if Oscar comes out. Guess who Oscar was? Oscar was a 12-gauge shotgun, ladies and gentlemen. Second Oscar showed up. Click, clack. They took off running.
That's Oscar. I'm out.
That's Oscar. And it wasn't just the click, clack. She would actually fire off warning shots at their ass. So it's like, I'm just saying, I'm not incriminating nobody. This is just a story, and a lot of it's for comedic presence, but still,
you Oscar shot him thing. On your warning shot. It wasn't was it a lethal shot? No. Okay. It was one of that. I just kind of winged him so he knew not to come any further.
Exactly. Yeah. See, we're on the same page.
That's fine. I get it. Completely understood. Especially crackheads, man. It takes a lot to fucking take them down.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing is like, in regards of home defense, so I know I'm at a disadvantage with like the type of weapons I do have. My weapons are fantastic for government takeovers or zombie apocalypse. That's it.
That's going to be another episode. What would we do during a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, don't even get started.
How would we logically get through a zombie apocalypse? That's going to be a great episode.
For those who cannot put down their phone, you should probably, I mean, I know we don't have a whole lot of audience left yet, but I will say this for those.
It's consistent number.
It's a consistent number, yes. But for those who cannot put down their phone because, I got to find out what Amber Heard's talking about because she's full of shit. This will be for you. How do you survive? That would be another episode. But at the same time, like the weapons that I have, I know for a fact will hurt. And one of my weapons is a Viet Cong era SKS with a bayonet. So I have close range defenses. I'm just saying.
AC defense. AC. There's a reason why they called them back in the day AK-47.
Motherfuckers.
But again, it's somebody who's a law-abiding citizen that knows the fucking firepower that he has.
Yes.
And knows exactly the only situations he would use those in.
Yeah.
If only every gun owner thought that way. And I'm sure most gun owners do.
But that's
what I'm saying. Like this weird idea of even the law-abiding citizens thinking that the government's going to come and take the kids. No, they legally in the Constitution they cannot do that. That is legally they cannot do that. So that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But being able to prevent again psychopaths, mental health check and a DMV style check to be able to get your gun. I'm all for that. Very simple solution.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive, regardless what people are. It's going to raise our taxes. Fuck you. It'll be fine. Trust me.
We have taxes raised for less.
Exactly. So. We get taxes raised for fucking potholes at Target. All right.
Hold on.
We're
Let me
we're
bring
good.
let
We're
me bring
fine.
now that you bring up taxes, let me bring the political aspect of taxes. And this
Oh,
is what I
God.
think is amazing that you guys are so stupid with. So I'll go back to
You know, if the higher ups really wanted to, they could put everything back at its original price,
be said
and they would still
make a profit.
make more money than they could have ever imagined.
Yeah, there's no need to have the money that they got. But a few years ago, I was taking care of my grandmother in Florida, and this was around voting time. Like they were voting for, I think, a new mayor or governor or something like that. I don't know. And they kept going on and on about they're coming after your money. They want you to tax you $10 million over the next 10 years. Are you going to stand for that, Florida? Are you going to stand for that? Vote XYZ because I approve this message. And I stopped and I was thinking about it. How many working law abiding citizens are in Florida? So I looked it up. You know, I think there's quite a bit. When I broke down the amount that each person who is paying taxes will be paying, adding on to their tax expenditures,
For
I
their
guess.
tax bracket and everything.
Yeah,
like
for their
that,
tax
right?
bracket or whatever. When I broke it down to how much money would be taken out of the money that they're earning, it's only $10 per year, per person. $10 per year, per person for 10 years to get $10 million for whatever they were trying to argue about. And I'm
They're
like,
gonna charge you. They're gonna tax you $10 million.
yes. And they
In
do
theory,
the doom and
that's
gloom.
just $10 each.
10
Oh, they're
bucks
just
each
asking for
year
10
for
bucks.
you.
Oh, they're just asking for $10 for this. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
cool. No, I can do that. No, we're good. Go
You know
ahead,
who
take
else?
that.
You know who else does that though? The church. They break it down. This is for
Hmm.
tithes and offering, and you give $1 here, $1 there, and then you like. There's some churches that won't show their expenses. There are churches I've been in that do show their expenses, and they have millions of dollars that they're earning from the congregation. And this is the same concept.
Think about this for a second, Adam.
Hmm.
How many people do we have in this country?
336 million,
336 million.
I think,
Right.
around that number.
We'll cut that in half to assume, adults, child,
Oh yeah,
that's it.
no.
So
I
we're
got you.
looking at about 100 to 150 million adults, right? Each of those 150 million adults,
Yes, it's 148.3 million, but yes, 150 million adults.
150 million adults gave 10
taxpaying.
bucks.
Mhm.
What would that be?
Let me bust out a calculator because my
Are we
math
talking
ain't
about
that fast.
1.5 bill? Is that what we're talking about here?
So you got 150
150 million
times $10.
times $10.
Yeah, that's $1.5 billion.
$1.5 billion just for asking $10 for every adult.
And that's in 1 year. You multiply that by 10 years.
We can do that in one day.
That's $15 billion. Think about it though.
Wait, 15 billion or 1.5 billion?
No, if we were to take that whole thing of like, oh, $10 million being split by everybody, everyone's paying 10 over the course of 10 years.
Right.
If we do it by that, so if 150 million Americans pay $10 a year for 10 years, the United States has made 15 billion with a B, $15 billion on taxes. $15 billion on taxes, right?
You know how much that shit would fucking solve?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And this is the fact of the matter that makes me laugh every time they come to do the doom and gloom shit on Fox, on CNN, and all these other like paid media outlets where they're talking about like they're trying to spend XYZ amount of money. Like California, you guys, I love California because it's my homeland, it's my hometown, whatever you want to say. But
fucking
you guys,
ass for no reason here.
You
bro.
guys, yes, you guys have a bunch of taxes that come in. Now, mind you, this conversation goes for the average Joe who pays their taxes every paycheck they get instead of paying it at the end of the year, like people who file 1099s. The fact of the matter is that if truthfully, because if you think about how much money you pay in taxes, right? Usually it's about half of the money you make in a year goes towards taxes, and then you'll get some amount coming back to you in a tax return. Right. But it's automatically taken out because, you know, the government knows us and we're not going to spend money that we're supposed to be spending. So it's like, fine, I'm not going to spend my money to fix the road because that should be your problem. And it's like, well, we don't have the money for it. We need the money from you. So we're going to tax you. It's like, okay, these taxes should be utilized for certain things. Now, mind you, this is going to also bring in Pornhub because they took the money. Pornhub. It's for YouTube purposes. Stop it. Pornhub took more of their money to fix the roads and to give aid to the American citizens than our government did with the money that we pay them to do so. Domino's Pizza fixed more roads because of the potholes and how bad it got because of the money we were getting. The pizzas were getting messed up. The pizza. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to listen to me. The motherfucking pizza was getting messed up. So Domino's Pizza decided we're going to take the extra revenue that we've been getting to fix the road so your pizza don't get fucked up because we care about you getting fat so much. Domino's has been doing
tired of cheese and pepperoni sticking to the top of your pizza box. We're gonna fix the fucking road.
Exactly. See, the thing about Domino's, and this is where I think we need to take the CEO of Domino's and ask him if he wants to be president. Reason being is because he gives a shit about his customers. He gives a shit about the people who consume everything he is giving, like that is being received. To where he is fixing roads, ladies and gentlemen.
Just look, people try to make politics as this difficult, really. It's something that's super stressful, it's super hard to deal with. Because no, it's fucking not. It's not. Super simple. It is super easy. The economics are there. They're just sitting here fucking telling you all the bullshit that you think you want to hear.
Yep.
Just to deter you from the fact that all they are doing is taking your money, boop, putting it right in their fucking pockets and not giving a damn about it. We donate to charities. Yeah, that go right back to you, and you get a tax write-off to where you have to pay nothing in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is donate to charities now and stuff like that to get tax write-offs. Own a house, tax write-off.
Yep.
Literally have an LLC and you can write off everything that you purchase because just by saying it's for my business.
Yep.
And you pay nothing. It is so simple and so easy.
I'll put it this way.
As the shit.
As an actor, because I'm my business model, I'm the product. I am the product that my business is distributing. Adam Kane LLC, some random shit like that. Because of me being my own business, anything I purchase for the betterment and improvement of my business and its sole employee is a tax write-off. Anytime I talk about like projects I'm working on, I can utilize that as a tax write-off because this is business. Why do you think so many CEOs play golf? Golf is one of the most weirdest sports I have ever seen. And is one of the most expensive sports I've ever seen.
The whites had to fall onto something because they were just getting wrecked in other sports.
Pretty much. But the thing is because golf is so expensive, like one round of golf is like hundreds to almost thousands of dollars.
These country clubs are fucking too much, bro.
Yeah. But they start talking about like my business revenue was umpteen $1 million. And it's like now that whole entire expenditure of whatever they're doing at that golf game that they're playing is a write-off.
It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. So it's like, what is this madness? What is this madness, ladies and gentlemen?
You can literally use yourself as, I mean, they do. Guess what your social security number is? Hello. I didn't want to have that fucking conversation, did you? Yeah, when you were born, we were an automatic useful tool for the U.S. government.
Did you know that
your citizenship is your right to be a soldier?
Yeah, the United States used to sell birth certificates to pay off its debts to China years ago. That's how the United States paid off their debts. at one point is they sold your birth certificate. So you, one, technically you're no longer a citizen of the United States, but they ain't going to tell you that because your taxes will no longer be going to the United States. It would be going to China. So they can't be telling you that. So there's the politics of your birth certificate, ladies and gentlemen. All these documents that they got you on the grid. You're not going to be running away, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to turn off my camera in about 5 seconds right now because I'm talking some real facts. No, I'm just kidding. But the thing is, so that's even in the politics of the taxes and stuff like that. Like,
but what I'm saying is they fill everybody's head with all of this bullshit.
Yes,
because you think about, we just broke it down, people. If every fucking adult who earns money gives $10, I'm sorry, a year, literally, it could come up January fucking 1st. Everybody put down $10. Look at this math. Look at this.
Hold on. We're gonna clear this out because we don't want people to think we're lying. So
this is calculated.
If we take
150 million people.
That's 150,000. That's 150 million. If we take 150 million people and we multiply that by $10, see, simple math. Yep. I know we all went to school one time, so let's bring it on back. That is 1.5 billion. So you see right here, that is a 1.5. So $1.5 billion. That is for 1 year of paying taxes. That $10 being divided. Now, how much is it going to cost you per month? Because I know you got some penny pinchers out there. So if you divide
per month, people, really, we're going to get $10 fucking dollars. How much is it going to cost me per month?
Because I can't spend 50 cents. I ain't got 50 cents. So we got $10.
10 divided by 12.
Divided by 12 months. You will be paying 83 cents a month. You can earn, or you can buy hearing aids for more money than this.
We've been getting fucked with our pants on, bro. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Look, people, $1.5 billion a year. If we just gave $10 a year, each of us, each functioning adult, $1.5 billion. The education system could be solved. The military would still be able to be paid for. We'd still be good.
Yep.
The fact that we have homeless veterans would be fucking solved.
Yep.
We can come out of this. We like people understand it's not about fucking right or left. It's about what are you and me going to do to ensure that our kids,
our children,
have a better future.
Yep.
And you mean to tell me $10? And again, and this is how I blame the fucking government, because they have it stuck in our fucking heads that, they're trying to tax you this much. No, if you literally, and this is why I say the education system has kind of fucked us, because if we literally did simple fucking math that we just did right now.
That's third grade level math. Third grade.
Simple math.
Third grade.
Using a calculator, which, by the way, people, fucking all of us have. Okay? Mm-hmm. We all have that. By simple calculator, we can fucking break this whole thing down and literally solve every single problem that they say money is an issue. Our government prints money just because.
Yep.
Okay. Just because we're the USA. We can print money. It doesn't mean anything. We don't actually have. Doesn't matter. It's mint. Like, no, like, this is what I'm trying to tell you people. $10. You know how many, look, everybody would be a billionaire. Everybody would be a fucking billionaire if we did that. There would be no issues of money or anything for anybody. Why? Because everything would be fixed. We would have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Everything would be fixed. Everything would be easy to pay for. Everything would be easy to purchase and get because it's not difficult to fix.
Exactly. And here's another thing that makes me laugh that, third world countries have been doing, that we talk about how civilized our societies are because we have all of the high class things in this society that the third world countries do not have, which is unfortunate because we need to save them, blah, blah, blah. There are third world country shops that have a policy where if you do not have the money to pay for the food, it's a pay it forward aspect. You can take the food and somebody else will probably pay a little extra. And they have them starting to pop up here in the States. Those things where it's like, if you cannot pay for the food, you have 4 options of payment. 1, you can pay $4, which is about the price of the food. 2, you can pay $12, which is a pay it forward aspect. So the next person can get the food for half price or for free. 3, you can pretty much like donate. Or 4, you can give an hour of your time to pay for the food you want to eat. Hour of your time to volunteer to pay for the food. Now, this is a bartering system that used to really work for the people, by the people, where it's like, I know you don't have the money right now, but hey, let me help you out.
But capitalism doesn't thrive like that.
It doesn't thrive like that. That in its true sense is a socialistic mindset, but socialism, which we've turned to try to equate it to communism, which realistically, any of these isms we like to throw out there to scare people aren't that bad. They're not that bad. They're really not that bad.
The ideas are really what you should be focusing on.
Yeah. So I'll bring it back to
control.
I'll bring it back to the beginning aspect of like how we were talking about the presidents and stuff like that to add into this. There are a lot of policies that Trump brought into play when he was in office that if they were utilized correctly, the ideas he brought to the table, if utilized correctly, meaning we actually implemented what he was talking about for all the people, not his rich friends that have that he has hands in their pockets. For all the people, if he were to implement those things.
We were paying for him to go to Mar-a-Lago.
Yes.
Letting y'all know that.
And the fact that we didn't actually impeach him, he's still going to be paid by us till the day he dies. We are paying his bills, his multi-million-dollar bills of shit that he has had gone belly up. And those are based off facts of his tax returns and shit. Anyways, not to badmouth it or to go down that route because he's out of office. I can care less. But the thing is that like
we might get back in.
Yeah, we'll get back into it soon. But the thing is that he brought to the attention things that were actually good policies, because I had this conversation, and again, ladies and gentlemen, having the conversation, I had a conversation with a Trump supporter, and I was not a Trump supporter. I actually didn't care who was there. I just didn't want Trump to be there.
I was about to say, let's be very clear. We're not, because I had to kind of look back at it myself, because a lot of people were talking about the policies. All right, what fucking policies is he talking about? Because he was a lot of talk, but nothing went through. Nothing was actually, there was no, and even his Republican friends in the Senate were like, how the fuck do we do this? You have no plan on how to do this. So we're seeing all of that.
China.
And then, like, okay, well, I see some of the policies. When you read it on paper and the idea of what it could be, like you said, if utilized correctly,
the potential of what it is,
the policies could be very beneficiary to everyone.
Yes.
But
they were not utilized the same way. And as my mama likes to tell me, you cannot eat a bowl of potential. So if you can't eat a bowl of potential, you're going to starve. Oh, see, they're after me again.
Yep. They want him out. They're like, yeah, we're done with this guy.
So
he's talking too much.
Yeah. The thing about it though, is that like, that's the whole aspect I think that politics is really driven away from, is it was for the people. It's no longer for them anymore. It's for the interest of the people who support me.
It's for the interest of the top 0.01 in the 1%. Yeah. As much as they say, oh, they don't want monopolies, it's monopolized. It's monopolized to benefit, a few people.
Yeah, AT&T is a monopoly.
So
out there as an employee.
If we're really looking at the whole thing, we're over here fighting each other over liberal ideas, conservative ideas. Because again, you can literally look, if you look at the two ideas, you can do compare and contrast, simple elementary school shit.
Venn diagram, ladies and gentlemen, do it.
You could literally compare what the benefits of each side is doing, use that together, and we can build a society that all of us can be proud of.
Yes.
And literally, if you just keep it to a point, where you just we actually have to have politicians who aren't politicians by the definition.
Mm-hmm.
We need politicians who are literally the ones who, kind of like what we're talking about, just they're doing it for the people. This is how we as a country can benefit and grow together to become what the world has never seen. We're talking about utopias. We could be the ultimate utopia if we stop fucking fighting each other for no reason at all.
I wouldn't want to go as far as a utopia because those places are just as fucked up too. But
certain utopia in the literal sense of it could be a damn near
beautiful
perfect
place. And that's the funny thing. We can be so far in the advancements, not just for the United States, but in the world, if we stop fighting each other over stupid differences and the politics of it all. And again, I agree with you. Like, we don't need politicians in office. We need people of the people.
Exactly.
Like, we need people of the people. We don't need a politician. We don't need to be sold. We don't need salespeople. We need somebody who's like, I've suffered and I've hurt the same that you have. Let's find a way together to truthfully make this work for all of us. Because I know if I'm hurting this way, you're hurting that way. I guarantee you the rest of these people on this block are hurting in different ways that we might not even be able to see.
The lack of empathy. Is really what it is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these politicians and stuff like that have been there forever. And this kind of comes to my point that I wanted to make earlier of there needs to be a law put in. And I know at least with the generation that's in there right now, because they're so old and so set in their ways, they're never going to let this pass. Mm-hmm. But at some point when our generation officially takes control over the Senate, we need to come up with a law of term limits. And we usually say people retire at 65, right? And usually past 55 you're considered a senior citizen. Okay. And when you become a senior citizen, when you take your driving test, when you take your test for your license and everything like that, you have to do basically a medical physical without them touching you in the private parts. Okay. You have to look, you have to be able to see, you have to be able to, identify sounds. You have to do an entire thing of, are you physically and mentally capable of operating a motor vehicle? Yep. If you were in the Senate, I do not think that it is okay for a senator or a congressman or anything else like that to be in there for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Because again, it just leaves room for corruption, because then there becomes the idea of, I'm untouchable, I ain't going nowhere. I'm never gonna, we're talking about Mitch McConnell. He's one of the richest congressmen, and he's the congressman of a state that's the poorest in the country.
Yeah.
Where's the red flag there, Kentucky? Hold on. Like,
with a man who has a gullet worse than the turkey.
It looks like the dude from like Star Wars.
But yeah, I agree. We definitely need to put term limits on that. And the one thing I like is that younger people our age are now jumping in as senators and representatives for the state, which
it's about time, because our generation has a very, very distinct habit of just kind of doing things whenever we want to.
Yeah. And
there's no sense of urgency, really.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, and I think this is the hilarious thing about it, is people of America, you need to realize anyone can apply.
No, they don't want
anyone can apply to become a president, to try to help make a difference. Anyone can apply to become a politician or a public servant for their constituents. Look at them. They're gonna try to take me out.
So done with it.
Yeah, they're done with me. Like... Anyone, you can literally have anybody on this planet who passes certain requirements. Can you read? Can you write?
God.
And are you within a certain age limit? So to be a president, you have to be a minimum of 35, born in the United States, or at least national, have the nationality of an American citizen for at least 14 years or something like that. That's for presidency. In regards to Congress, it's similar criteria, except I don't think the age limit, you just have to be over like 20 something.
Because but then you can get revoted in for, and that's why most people, that's why like with some congressmen, it's like, well, you've been in Congress for so long, why don't you just run for president? You have I make more money here.
Yeah.
Why would
it's the same reason why me as an entry level employee with AT&T, I do not want to become a manager, because I will lose out almost hundreds of thousands of dollars and more time. Like I'll lose out more time and I'll lose hundreds of thousands of dollars for the same time that I'm putting in. So
you earn less running the place than you do actually operating the place. But I mean, again, ladies and gentlemen, politics, we understand it's a very touchy subject with a lot of people. We know a lot of people, they're very set in their ways. But again, when you think logically about the whole thing and you actually break it down to how simple it really is to fix problems in this country, it really is that simple.
Yeah.
And it literally is just a matter of us stop being greedy, stop being selfish. Let's bring the village back. And let's help each other out. Because to be honest, when the village succeeds and when everybody eats, everybody's happy. Everybody's having a good time. We don't have any fucking problems. We can do what we want to do. But there are very simple solutions to everything that can be done. And hopefully, I mean, I would love to be able to see it in my lifetime. At this rate, the way it's going,
probably not.
Probably not. But hopefully, at least my kids and, your kids and anybody else's kids that are coming up can learn a little something and do things for the right reasons. Because our congressmen and our politicians and stuff like that have lost that empathy for the people. And the people have also lost empathy for themselves. We're at a point right now where we need to start thinking, logically. We need to start thinking and coming together that, doesn't matter what you are, doesn't matter where you come from. Everybody has the same opportunity to do whatever the fuck it is they want. We're just going to choose the best. It doesn't matter what your skin tone is. If you're mentally capable of doing it, you have all the criteria of being able to get the job done, you're in. The best make it, and then everybody else, we're cool. We can do other shit. But again, when it comes to finances, things don't need to be as high as they are. We can be fine with where they're at. We can literally all be millionaires and billionaires right now if we really wanted to, but they want us to keep fighting each other. And we got to get to a point where we stop fighting each other. We got to come together, seize the best ideas that we both got from both sides, and tell these politicians, all right, we're sick of your shit. You either fucking get it done, or we'll find somebody who will. We'll vote somebody else in who will. We'll give our money or whatever to somebody else in who will. Because we're sick of your shit. The piece of paper, the Constitution says it is for us, by the people, for the people. You fucking work for us.
Public servants.
As soon as we figure that out and be able to come together arm in arm and walk up and be like, figure it the fuck out or you're gone.
Yeah.
As soon as we can all do that, we'll all be logically sound and we'll all have the logical senses that we need to move on and become better people.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us for this episode. We will see you guys next time. Adam, I'm glad you were good and out of your fucking surgery, man.
Yep, I got an update on that tomorrow.
We'll find out more and everything, but at least I'm glad you're here and everything's good now. So that's the best part about it. You guys that have been with us watching this whole time consistently, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next time for the Logical Senses. Myself, JP,
and your boy AC. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.